Okay, so today is going to be one of the most important lectures of the course because I'm going to be covering Anki. So Anki is basically the best learning software that exists. It's just awesome. There's like no comparison. I don't know any other software, program, app that would be better than Anki for learning. So I'm going to be covering how you can use Anki. But first of all, what is Anki, right? So Anki is, as I said, the best software for learning. And with it, you can review your content, the content you've studied, using flashcards. So it's going to implement two methods that we talked before. It's going to implement active recall and spaced repetition. For those who can't remember from the last lectures, active recall is the... Actually, let me ask you guys, what is active recall? Does anyone here remember what it means? Like anyone, any guess whatsoever? Sure.
I mean, it's when you like have to use your brain to remember information.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta use your brain to recall the information instead of just rereading it, right? So you don't just get the information, just don't reread it, but you rather try to recall it on your own. And spaced repetition would be the idea that you would actually space the intervals that you review the information increasingly. So instead of reviewing every day the same information or every week the same information, you increase the intervals that you're gonna see the information again. So you review the information you studied today, you review tomorrow, then you just review 3 days later, then 5, then 7, then 2 weeks, then a month, then 3 months, then a year, and so on. So it's always an increasing amount of time, so that increases efficiency. And among all the methods that I'm going to cover today, it's the method that requires the least amount of effort and brings the most return for your studies and your academic performance. So the first thing is to download Anki. I'm going to ask again because some people came up. How many of you already got Anki installed? Who here got? Okay, everybody got Anki installed. So that's awesome. So, but for those who are watching the lecture asynchronously, just use the website. The slides are going to be available in the Google Drive, and the Google Drive is available in the link in the description of the video. So we have this. We can install in Android, iOS, Windows, macOS, Linux. It's free for everything except for iPhone, but honestly, I would pay for iPhone if I had an iPhone. I prefer Android, but if I had an iPhone, I would pay for it because it's Anki. It's the best. Now, create an account on Anki Web. How many of you have already created the account on Anki Web? How many of you? Okay. How many? Who didn't? Who didn't create the account on Anki Web? So let's do the following. Very quickly, those who didn't create the account, you just Google AnkiWeb .net, press enter, and you're gonna try to create your account very quickly. So just Google that, AnkiWeb. Did everybody find the page? Let me check. Okay, let me just give a look. Is it? Yeah, exactly. That's the page. Exactly. So create an account because we're gonna use that account to log in our own app, and that allows us to synchronize the flashcards across across devices. So let me just check something. So that would allow us to, for instance, that will allow us to do stuff like if you have your flashcards on your phone and in your PC, or let's say you have your flashcards on your phone, and then your phone is stolen, you lose your phone, it breaks, it explodes, whatever happens, you still have your flashcards and you can still download them from the cloud. So please create this account. This is going to be very helpful, and also for you to synchronize across devices. So if you have your laptop and your phone, you can synchronize them using this account. Okay, did everybody create an account already? Is the account working? So go to the app, click on synchronize, and when you try to synchronize, it's going to ask for your account details. So if you have your account logged in, it's going to synchronize normally. But if you don't have your account logged in, it's going to ask you for your details. Is it working for you guys? Did you guys manage to log in? in the app? Is it working?
Just verify.
Okay, no worries. Okay. I think I'm gonna move on, and let's move on to the actual stuff because I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff, so I don't need to be a little bit fast in this lecture because I don't want to take too long of your time. So the first thing is how to create flashcards. That's the first thing we're gonna use, and I'm also gonna be making the slides available after class, so you guys can check it again later if you want as well. So let's go. How to create a flashcard. So the idea is that after you go through your lecture, ideally every day you would go at the end of the day and put your flashcards, your notes that we talked about note taking. So you're gonna pick your notes from your classes and you're gonna put on Anki. So you're gonna make flashcards from the content of your notes. And that's going to be very helpful so that you don't forget the information, right? You keep reviewing it so you don't forget. So let's do some examples of it. I'm gonna open my own Anki. So let's do that. You guys are gonna see my Anki. Okay. So that is Anki. It should look like this. This person are my flashcards. They're all hidden here because it's just a bunch. I didn't want to crowd too much the screen. We're gonna have a default deck when you first create your Anki. Is it too small? Let me. I think that's better now. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna create a flashcard. Oh, it's too small. Why does it look like this? Let me screen. Okay. Why? Display settings. Scale. Let me try to. Is this better? Let me see. 150. I think. Is this better? Does this look better? I think so. Right? Let me decrease now. Now this looks more normal. Yeah, I think now it looks better, right? Okay, so let's create the flashcards. So let's suppose you're studying economics. So we have what is the double mandate of the central bank. So how would you create a flashcard? Is that you go here to the Anki first page. You click on this button, Add. Right? You go through your notes. You click here, Add, and this opens this box here, which is what you're going to use to add flashcards. You have the front of the deck and the back of the deck. It's in Portuguese because it's my own Anki, but this would be written like front. This is back. So the front is going to be the question. It's going to be what the app is going to show you, and you're going to see the front, and you're going to try to recall the information from the back of the flashcard. So in the front, we would put something like, what is the double mandate of the central bank? So that would be something that we learned in our econ class, let's say. And as an answer, we're gonna look in our notes. So let's suppose this is our notes. We would put maximum employment and stable inflation. So we would write in the back maximum employment and stable inflation. Sure.
How do you view all the cards that you've added to your deck?
I'm gonna show that later. Okay. But for now, we're not gonna play with that yet. So in the front, we put the question, the verse is the back is the answer. Is everybody following? I recommend you to do that at the same time I'm doing so that you can keep track of things. So here I'm gonna choose the deck. I'm gonna select the default that we're using. So we just click, we have here the type of note. We have basic right now, but I'm gonna show the other types of notes. But here we choose the deck. I'm gonna choose default. Everybody following? Everybody not following? Everybody? Okay. So I added I'm gonna close this. Now we have one new flashcard. We have one here. Let's add more flashcards. We have, when was the Declaration of Independence signed? 1776. So let's do that. So let's suppose you also took a history class. Let's put there in the same deck, default. Okay, so year of Declaration of Independence, 1776. So I'm gonna add that as well. So let's, everybody keep following that order. So we do Declaration. Okay. Okay, so we add a flashcard. Now I have two flashcards there. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I use digital notes instead of written notes, is because you can just copy them and paste them instead of writing them over and over again. So I click add again, and instead of typing, I can just, paste. And that's much faster if you have a lot of notes to add from your lecture. So that's one of the reasons why I would do that. But yeah, so here, what is the formula for calculating molarity? Let's say I took a chemistry class, I'm learning that. So I'm gonna add that as well. So molarity would be moles of solute per liters of solution. So you can add that. You can, since this is just, these are just examples, you can add just a short version of this. So I'm gonna add this, and oh, it got added to the other deck. Let me put it here. Okay, so I'm gonna choose the default, and I'm gonna add this. Everybody follow me? The logic of it? Okay, so now how do we review that? Let me see if there is another one. Let's add the last one, a last flashcard. So this one, what is the capital of Brazil? Guesses? Great. You guys are learning. Awesome. You just saw the answer. I know. You just saw that. You were going to say Rio. I know that. Okay, add. Awesome. So we have 4 flashcards now. Beautiful. How do we review that? So now we have these decks. You're probably going to have a single deck. But for you to review, you simply click on the deck. So we're going to have here default. So Anki, every day you go to Anki, every day you open Anki, it's going to show you the flashcards you have to review. You don't need to choose the flashcards you have to review. You don't need to check which flashcards you have to review. It's going to show you, it's going to give you the flashcards you have to review. If there were no flashcard to review, you would have just 0, 0, 0, as you have in my personal deck. But here in the default deck, you can see 4, and that's because we have flashcards to review right now. So let's click on the deck and click on Study Now. So now it shows you a flashcard, and the idea is that you look at the question and you ask yourself, okay, what is the answer to this question? Or what is the answer to this? What is the information that's associated to that? So we have here, what is the capital of Brazil? You try to recall it. What is it?
Rio.
Brazil. Bro, don't say Rio. No, you're gonna fail the course. I'm sorry, but like, okay, Brasilia. So we check if the answer is correct. You can press spacebar or just show answer, and we see Brasilia. The answer is correct. So what are we gonna choose? We're gonna choose good. Okay, we're gonna choose good. Let me move to the next one. Okay, and that's not okay. That's fine. Let's just okay. So let's suppose here, what is the double mandate of the central bank? You try to recall that, and let's suppose I try to recall that, and I think, okay, let's say maximum employment, and let's say minimum inflation. I recall it incorrectly, and I go to check, and it says maximum employment and stable inflation, which is not the same as minimum inflation. So the goal of the central bank is not to minimize inflation, but to remain stable at a certain goal. So the information that I try to recall, I recalled it incorrectly, right? So I would press again because I made a mistake. Okay, so you don't press hard and you don't press easy. You press just again and good. Okay, so let's move back. Oh, I pressed from the beginning. Okay. So one thing I would like to mention, when you create your flashcards, make sure to be succinct. You do not want long flashcards. So for instance, if you have a complex information or list, just turn it into small and digestible pieces. So if you have here, what are the causes, events, and outcomes of the World War I? Instead of creating this flashcard and giving all the answers and a bunch of answers in the back, you divide that into 3 flashcards, like main cause, last battle, one outcome. Like you divide into smaller pieces. You don't make a huge flashcard with a bunch of information. If you can divide a flashcard into multiple small flashcards, you do it. Because it is faster to review 5 flashcards than to review one with the same information as the 5. We want to get into the flow state that you just keep reviewing the flashcards. You just go one after the other. You keep recalling one after the other. We want to get into that fast-paced answer. If you get slow, it's gonna be bad. So be succinct with your flashcards. Now, how to review? We have here. Feel free. It's fine. So you should review your flashcards every day. Every day you go, you take some time from a day. It can be when you're waiting in line. It can be right after you wake up. It can be right after you sleep. It can be when you're in the bathroom. Whatever you're doing, you have time to review your flashcards. There's always time to study your Anki. So this also avoids accumulation because they are going to accumulate if you don't review. So make sure that you review like every day and you don't have that problem. Choose again and good. So you're only gonna press easy when you have like a bunch of flashcards that are accumulating. They are extremely easy. If you feel that the algorithm is giving you a lot of very, very easy flashcards and you're feeling like this is really like not useful, I already know this very well, I don't need to review that. But that's very rare. I would recommend you to forget the easy button, forget the hard button, press just again and good. Because the algorithm nowadays is just quite good. You don't need to worry about that or guess if it's right or not, or be like, I don't think it's good enough. No, trust the algorithm. Press just again and good. So also obviously do not see the answer before trying to remember on your own. Sometimes you're gonna feel tempted. Don't do that. Try to recall on your own. And only press to show the answer in the flashcard when you really feel that, okay, I tried, I can remember it. So you try to remember it, you spend like almost like 30 seconds, a minute, you're like, okay, I'm not recalling that, I can't remember that. Then you click on show the answer. Okay, now let's cover the notes types. I'm gonna show you guys all the ways you can create flashcards on Anki. This is gonna be very helpful for you to become a more advanced Anki user. That's the first step to become an Anki addict. So let's go here. So we have our default deck. You would review it. Normally, you would go flashcard after flashcard. But all the flashcards I added, they had like a front and a back, right? But that's not the only way I can structure flashcards. So let's click here on Add. And let's suppose, instead of having a flashcard that shows me a front and a back, I want to add the information here in such a way that when I add it, I want to create a flashcard that shows me the front and asks me for the back, and I also want another flashcard that's gonna show me the back and ask me for the front. Why would I need that? Let's say I'm learning Spanish, and I want to learn the meaning of the word house. I want to learn the word house in Spanish, and the word house in Spanish it's casa. So is it casa? And I don't remember anymore if it's casa. So because I don't remember if I was using for Portuguese or for Spanish because they are the same word. So you can put you can memorize this information as a flashcard by doing the following. I'm gonna see the word casa and I'm gonna try to recall the English word. So I see the Spanish word, I try to recall the English one. When I see the English one, I try to recall the Spanish one. So imagine you're a native English speaker. So you're trying to learn Spanish by trying to translate English to Spanish and Spanish to English. See the idea? So let's try to create this flashcard that shows me the casa asks for house and shows me house, and I need to recall the word casa. We have here type. This is the note type. This is how the information is going. This is the templates of how information can be displayed in the flashcard. We're gonna click here, and we're gonna choose basic and reversed. This is in Portuguese, but it's gonna show to you as basic between parentheses and reversed or something like that. So I'm gonna choose that. Okay, choose. Okay, I just chose it. Wait, let me see. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, basic and reversed. So I have more options, but don't worry about that. I have more customized note types, but don't worry about that. So we're gonna put here in the front casa, and in the back we're gonna put house, and we're gonna add it. Before I do that, I'm just gonna discard. I'm just gonna review all these flashcards so that they disappear. Okay, awesome. So I finished the flashcard. Just press back space bar multiple times. It just keeps pressing good for all of them. I just reviewed it more quickly. So I'm gonna add it, basic and reversed, casa and house. I'm gonna add it. Now, see, I added one flashcard, but it created two. We have two flashcards now. So let's review that. Study now. Are you guys following? Did you guys create a basic and reversed? So go here, study now. So now I see house. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna now check and try to recall what the Spanish word is. So I see house. What is the Spanish version? It's casa. See casa. Press good. Casa. What is the English word? It's house. So good. It shows again, good, 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 and so on. Congratulations, you have finished this deck now. So this is the basic and reverse note type. Another option is to use close. This is very, very useful. I'm gonna give a few examples for you. So the idea is that we're gonna hide information in the flashcard, and it's going to be basically very useful for lists of things. And also, if you have a formula, you can hide different parts of the formula, and you're gonna create like multiple flashcards. So let's create. Let me show you the following. I'm gonna add a flashcard now. I'm gonna choose the basic now, and we're gonna check what happens if I try to create a flashcard with a list of things. So let's suppose I'm taking group theory, which is true. I'm taking group theory right now. So this is my own. It comes from my own deck. So I just learned what a group is in group theory, and the definition of a group is basically it's a set combined with an operation that satisfies closure, associativity, that it has an identity element, and inverses for every element. So that's 4 things. So if you're starting to use Anki, you may think, well, for me to memorize the definition of this, I could just put in the front, what is a group? Or what is the definition of a group? And in the back, I would put the whole definition. That would be the first way people would think of doing that, right? Like, it's intuitive. I want to memorize, I want to learn, review what a group is, so I'm just gonna put in the front the question, what is it? In the verse, in the back, I'm gonna put the whole definition. However, this is kind of bad. And why is that? Can you guys think of ways how that would suck in practice?
You need to memorize all 4.
Yeah, you gotta memorize 4. That's the first thing. Any other ideas of how that could be bad in practice? To have like a lot of details in the same flashcard. It slows you down as well. That's another thing. So all these are right. These are problems that when you have a lot of information in the same flashcard, like multiple things for you to remember. If I make a mistake in one of them, the whole flashcard I'm gonna put again on it. So it's gonna be very hard for me to get good at it. So instead of doing this and having a flashcard that's gonna slow me down, that's going to very easily get again over and over, I'm gonna go here to type. I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna choose close. Here it's omissão de palavras, but in English it's close. Did everybody find it? close. Okay. So instead of doing that, you can see that the top here, the top panel changed. We have these two options that appeared. If I come here, basic, they were not here before. When I choose close, they appear. So now I can hide elements. So instead of in the front, now I have text, extra back. And in the front, I'm going to put here the definition itself. I'm not going to put a question. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to do the following. A group is a set combined with the operation that satisfies. What do I need to recall? I can do the following. I just need to recall the list, right? The properties that a group needs to satisfy. So we have these 4 properties that I need to recall. Closure, associativity, the identity element, and inverses for every element. So I'm going to select each one of these properties that I need to recall. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click this button over here. Close deletion, new card. Now you can see it was selected here. We have C1. It looks weird now. So basically what this does is that this creates a flashcard that's going to hide this word. I'm going to select the other one and click on the button again. This creates a second card. I'm going to click identity element. I'm going to select this phrase as well. Create a new flashcard. Inverses for every element. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click here again. So now we can see C1, C2, C3, C4. I'm going to click add to see what this makes. So this created 4 flashcards. I'm going to click here, study now. So now the flashcard looks like this. A group is a set combined with an operation that satisfies. Now we have a list, and for each card, one of the words is going to be hidden. And I need to recall just that part of the answer that was hidden. So I'm going to try to recall, okay, what are the operations that a group needs to satisfy? Okay, I can see associativity, identity element, inverses for every element, but there's a 4th one. Which one is it? So I think it's closure. Yeah, it's true. It is closure. So I press good. The next one, it will show closure, associativity, inverses for every element. I'm going to try to think, what is the other one that's missing? So let's say, I think maybe, let's say it's, I don't know, distributivity or something like that. It's wrong. So I would press again and would follow this idea. So now that I pressed again, only that card would be given as, would be labeled as again in the algorithm, not the other flashcard. So that's how you separate the algorithm from, let's say I have trouble remembering just the identity element, but I'm very good at recalling that a group has closure, associativity, and all of the others. So now, only the flashcard that contains the identity element as the thing that needs to be recalled, that's going to be giving trouble in the algorithm. So I'm not going to screw up all the information. So that's the idea behind it. Does everybody follow it? Sure to.
Yeah, I think I need a little bit of help on the
Sure.
technicals, like here.
Sure. So you just select the word closure, for instance. Yeah, and you press this button. Yeah.
It's not.
It's because you put in back extra. So it must be in the first one.
Oh,
So
everything
yeah, it should be in the first one. So yeah, that's a good point for me to cover. Let me finish this review. Okay, congratulations. When you add, when it's close, you should put in the first field only, not in the second one. Okay, so when it's basic, you put in the front and the back, but when it's close, it's only going to be in the first one. So that's basically it. Another way you can use the close flashcards is to use formulas. So let's suppose you're learning a formula. We have here, you're taking some econ class, and we have here, you're learning what stockholders' equity is. It's basically common stock plus retained profits. So I want to learn this formula. One way I can do that is that I can hide one side of the equation at a time. So I can select the left side of the equation, click here on this button, then it creates one card that hides that information. I select the right side of the equation, create one card that hides the right side of the equation. What is this gonna do? This is going to create one flashcard that hides one side and asks for the other, and I try to recall the other, and vice versa. So, is everybody following? Do I need to go slower? Okay. So I'm going to add it. So now I see common stock plus retained profits. I would be reviewing with all the flashcards I have, and I would try to recall, wait, what is common stock plus retained profits? What is that equal to? Well, I think that's stockholders' equity. Okay, that's good, and so on. So that creates like multiple ways you can work with formulas. That's something you can play with. Now I'm going to go to something that can be very, 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 very helpful for MCAT students and or anybody who needs to learn anatomy, anything that involves images and multiple labels and names and different parts of things. Even if you're learning, let's say, geography, and you want to learn the geography of some place in multiple countries, what are the, if you want to recognize countries in a map, for instance, if you want to learn this type of thing, this is very helpful, which is another node type. It's the last one I'm going to cover, which is image occlusion. So we're going to click here, add flashcard, type, and we're going to select image occlusion. So image occlusion. Choose. Awesome. Everybody's following? Image occlusion. So here we have select image. I'm going to select an image from my own device. Select a random image from yours, but I'm going to select the image of brain parts, which I already got downloaded here. So let me increase this. So let's suppose you're learning the different parts of the brain. Select a random picture you have on your device. So now what we can do is that we can create flashcards that we have images, and we hide parts of the image, and we try to recall what that image refers to, what that part of the image refers to. So for instance, I would have this flashcard, and I would cover this, and the flashcard would be asking me, what is this? What does this refer to? So we can see like there's a line, so I would know what this block would refer to. How do I do that? I click and drag to draw a box and release. It hides part of the image. So I click, drag, release, create a rectangle, and I'm gonna do that to cover all the names, all the labels, so that I'm gonna create one flashcard for every single label. So every rectangle is going to create a different flashcard. Okay, after I finished covering all the labels that I want to recall, that I want to practice, I'm going to click here on Add. Everybody following? Okay. So I'm going to close this, and 6 flashcards were created. Study now. Here is the flashcard. We can see this part is covered. So we can see it's in red. So it's basically, this is the one that I try to recall right now. This is the one that I have to recall. What is this part? We have MCAT students, so you guys gotta remember this. What is this part? Great. That's right. So that's good. Now I have the lower part. What is the lower part called? Spinal cord. Okay, it was the lower. I'm sorry. That was that. It's the image. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, I'm gonna put, yeah, again. Too bad. I'm sorry for you guys, but yeah. So we keep doing that. Keep reviewing. It was very unintuitive. I'm sorry, but okay. We reviewed all of them, and that's basically it for node types. I think that those are all the ones that I'm gonna try to, that I think are useful. There are many node types. There are multiple. You can create your own node types if you want, customized node types. I've created a few throughout the years, but these are the most important ones. They are the inbuilt, and they are the most important ones. Any questions so far about node types? Awesome. So first thing I want to, sure.
Is there a way to like do the opposite? So like instead of like things covering up an image, like you have like an image, and then like you can like add stuff to it, like via Anki.
What do you mean? Like adding thing. I'm not sure if I understand your question. Can you elaborate a little?
Like say like you have like you're trying to learn a language and
Mhm.
you have to like figure the human body and like you have like arrows pointing to each thing that you want. Could you like have a flashcard that's like um, the name of the word in the other language or yeah, I'm having a hard time explaining.
No, that's fine. We can talk later about that. I would like to talk more about like how we can use Anki to learn languages. I'm gonna cover some extensions, add-ons for that as well, for language learning. But yeah, we talk after class about that. So here, what is the difference between note and card? I need to cover that to avoid misunderstandings. So a note is one thing, a card is another. So Anki has this. The way Anki works is the following. We saw that we added a single flashcard, but it created multiple, right? So we had basic and reversed. I clicked on add a single time and 2 flashcards appeared. I created the image occlusion one and 6 flashcards were added. So how does this work? So we have a difference between a note and a card. A note is basically all the information that I added. Every time I click on add, I create one single note. However, one single note can give rise to multiple flashcards, to multiple cards. So the basic and reversed generates 2 cards, but it's a single note. And cards that have the same note, they are called sibling cards. And when you alter the information from one card, you're basically altering the information of all the sibling cards because the information is stored as the note. The flashcards are just the cards, are just the way the information is displayed to you in the moment you review them. So all the algorithm, it's done through card. So when you press again, good, that goes to the history of that card. But the information is stored as a note. Any questions about that? It's going to become more clear when I move on. Can I move on? Or any questions about that? Okay. So now let's create decks and subdecks. So we have a deck's a group of cards, basically, and you can nest them as well. Each card can belong to a single deck only. And every time you study, you got to select the deck. Let's make some examples here. So let's create a flashcard, a deck for history. So we press here, create deck at the bottom. We put the name, we gotta write the name. So let's create a one for history and press enter. Let's create another for geography. Geography. Press enter. So that's how you create flashcards. You press create deck, that's how you create decks. Click here, type the name, and press enter. Now, we can also nest the decks and create subdecks. How do we do that? We click here, create deck. We're going to type the name of the parent deck, so like history. And now I want to create a subdeck called Industrial Revolution. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to press colon, so twice. And I'm going to type the name of the subdeck. So I'm going to put Industrial Revolution. So every time you want to make something be a subpart of something else, you put colon. That's how you create hierarchy in Anki. That's going to show up later as well. So I click on OK. Now you can see that in the history deck, there is a plus here. If I click, we can see the subdeck, Industrial Revolution. Another way for me to create a subdeck is to click Create Deck. I type the name of the deck that I want. Let's say USA History. And press OK. This creates a deck normally. I can click and drag to inside the deck History. Now we have the subdeck USA History. So that's how you create subdecks. This helps you become more organized with your flashcards, because when you get a lot of flashcards, you don't want to get them organized later. You want to have them organized from the beginning, because it gets huge quickly. So that can be very helpful. I would use decks for structuring lectures, basically, to structure the subjects of your lectures. So you have one deck for like computer science, another for chemistry, another for physics, and inside physics you have physics, let's say 101, then you have physics 102, whatever it is, and you keep adding decks nested in that way per subject. Everybody following that idea? Do you guys want any questions about that? Any problems with that? Everything good? So I'm gonna move on. Now, deck settings. So we can change the way the flashcards are going to be displayed to us. So let's suppose you're adding flashcards. If you added today a bunch of flashcards, you don't necessarily want all of them to be added today for you to review today. You may, let's say, want the flashcards that you when you clicked on add, maybe you want them to be added to your deck only tomorrow or after tomorrow, because you already have you only have so many flashcards you can review in a single day, because you're a busy person, you have other things to do, so you can't add too many flashcards. But at the same time, maybe you had the time to add them today, but you don't have the time to review them today. So you want them to be somewhat postponed for the following days. That's how you can set limits for the new cards. So you set a limit for the new cards that you added. So if you add 50 flashcards today, but the limit of new cards is 20, today 20 flashcards are going to be added. Tomorrow, among the 50 that you added today, only 20 were added today. Among the 30, 20 will be added tomorrow, and then the third day, the remaining 10 will be added. Everybody following the logic? And we also can set limits for the maximum reviews, so that you don't have 1,000 flashcards for you to review today. You just have 200, and they keep postponing the reviews. So we can go here to change these settings. We can go to the deck we want to study. We want to change the settings. We go here to this cog. We click on it. We click on options. It opens this box. So we have here daily limits, new cards per day. This is very high. This is mine. Here's the standard one. For you, it's probably gonna be like 20. That's a sane, healthy limit. This was me as well. The maximum reviews per day. Don't do that. That's not healthy. But let's say, I guess it's 200, right? It's 200 for you guys. Okay, the standard one. So we can set the limits. We can increase them or decrease them. If you're reviewing your flashcards and you feel that you have more time, but in the review column, when you open Anki, you see here flashcards in the column here. You have 200, exactly 200, and you have 200 like more than one deck. It's because Anki is limiting, it's capping the amount of flashcards you can review on that day. So you go to these settings. If you want to increase them, let's say I have more time to review Anki, I can review more than that. Possibly MCAT test takers, you're probably gonna it's possible you're gonna review more than 200, many more than 200. So you increase here. There's no problem reviewing more than 200, by the way. If you have the time, if you're really studying intensively to something, it's normal that you're gonna need to increase that. So you increase it here. For new cards added per day, it's not as necessary for you to add them, because they will be added in the next days. But if you're adding every day a number that's greater than 20, then it becomes a problem, because you just keep postponing these flashcards, and every day you got to postpone the flashcards you added today, and it's too many. So it's not going to be helpful. So maybe you're going to need to increase the new cards as well. So here's where you would do that. Another thing is the display order. We want to review our flashcards in a random way. So if you go here to new cards, we can change the display order in two ways. We have for the new cards, Anki makes the difference between the new cards and the... Actually, let's play just with these ones. Go just to display order. The other one, I think it's old thing. So here, we have the display order of the flashcards. We want our flashcards to be displayed to us randomly, right? We do not want to see information related to each other close to one another because we do not want to be helped by other flashcards. We want to be not associated as much as possible. So here, go to the options, click here, new card gather order. We're going to select random cards. So random cards, here, new card sort order. You don't need to change it once you choose random cards. Here, new review order. I would choose mix with reviews to make it as random as possible. Inner day learning review order, mix with the reviews. Review sort order. You can select here due date, then random, or you can, if you want to make it more random, you can also, I think, choose just random as well. So everybody's following? So here you choose due date at the end. Is it okay? Okay. So in the display, you just choose as random as you can, and that's it. Now, FSRS. What is it? So Anki changed the algorithm it uses to schedule the flashcards. So now it's better than it used to be. So here, you should activate it. If it's not activated, I recommend you to activate it. Is it activated for you guys? It was not? So this is a new thing. This is a new algorithm, but I recommend you guys to use it. So this is the new way Anki schedules the flashcards. It's a more advanced algorithm, but I think it can break down for like older versions, so that's why they don't make that something that's activated from default. But yeah, you activate it, and here you can select the desired retention. So how much retention you want. You may be tempted to be like, well, why don't I put just 100 here, right? I want to learn everything. I want to remember everything. If you put 100, let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. If I put just 100, it shows 100-day interval will become 9 days. So I have no idea what that means. But the point is that what Anki is trying to say is that this is going to be really, really inefficient. You're going to see the same flashcards over and over again, and there's going to be basically no benefit to spaced repetition. As I said, the idea of spaced repetition is to save your time. However, of course, there will be some cost in efficiency. You're not going to be recalling everything with 100% accuracy. You're going to have forgetfulness. You're going to forget some stuff a little. So what is the percentage that is the standard one for you guys? How much was it? 80? 90. Okay. So yeah, you can leave at 90. That's fine. If we're going to check this later, but if you have a deck of cards that you do not want to recall very often, they're not as important, but you want to keep reviewing them, you can also decrease that and put like 70, and that also works. Or put, let's say, 80, and that would work as well. If you do not want to recall it as much, do not want to have as much of a good retention, you can decrease that. But 90 is a good amount. And here, after you have many flashcards, if you have Anki for a long time, you can click here on Evaluate and Optimize, because this helps Anki, after you have a lot of reviewing, after you have reviewed it multiple times, like for a year or multiple months actually, these parameters of the algorithm, they gotta be optimized. So Anki is gonna check how you have performed with these parameters. It's gonna see, did this guy learn much? If no, let's optimize these parameters. So that's how it would work. Any questions? I saw our hand raised.
I cannot do anything.
Okay, just close it.
I can't. Oh.
Yeah, try to switch. Try to turn it off and turn it on. Yeah. Try to turn the let me know if it doesn't work again. So that's very weird. I hadn't seen that. Okay, so that's something you can do. Every few months, you go here, evaluate, then optimize. I'm not gonna click it because I think I did it recently. Okay, so next one, auto advance. We go lower here, we have auto advance. Auto advance is a very cool feature. So let's suppose you want to review flashcards, but you want to review them fast. So you want to have the Anki itself forcing you to move on. So you want to, let's say, see the front of a flashcard for 5 seconds, and if you do not, want to think for longer than 5 seconds. If you take longer than 5 seconds, it is going to show you the answer. It is going to show you the answer. And when it shows you the answer, you're going to have, let's say, 3 seconds to choose either again or good. And if you don't choose anything, it's going to answer again. So this is going to force you to move forward no matter what. And if you didn't answer fast enough, it's going to just consider that you didn't recall it. It's just going to answer again for you. So here we have seconds to show answer for. Let's choose 5 seconds. So it starts at 0, 0, so it means that it's not activated. When we put a time, it activates basically. So here I'm going to select 5 seconds to show answer for. I'm going to choose 3. And question action, it means what is going to happen after the 5 seconds. It's going to show the answer. And the answer action, I'm going to select here, answer again. You could also choose like answer good, answer hard, or whatever. What makes the most sense is answer again. So once we have that activated, I'm going to save this. And I need to create some flashcards to play with this. Just very quickly, I'm going to create like 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go here. Why 2 flashcards? Oh, I can tell. Options 200. Yes. So it was because of that. Any question? Okay. So let's review that. Study now. So here, nothing is happening. So it's not moving automatically. What is happening? We got to go here, lower, choose more, and we select auto advance. We need to click here to activate the auto advance. So we click. Now it's gonna start, it should start moving automatically. So now shows for 5 seconds, it answered on its own. So it's gonna show 1 for 5 seconds, then it's gonna show the answer. I gotta select good. Okay, selected good. 2, the next one is 3. It's going to show the back automatically. Okay, I gotta choose good. And it keeps pushing you forward. This is good when you're serious about it. You're like, okay, now I want to review for real. I want to really do it fast, and I want to be capable of recalling all the information in this deck quickly, like very quickly. I've used this auto advance feature a lot for learning like the systems of memorization that I'm going to teach you in the future, like for memorizing numbers. So I have like this system with like 2,000 images roughly. And the idea is that I needed to be capable of recalling them fast. So you can use auto advance up to the millisecond. So you can put like 0.5 seconds. So it's going to show you the front for 0.5 seconds, and you got to recall the information, for instance. And if you didn't recall it, it just answers wrong. You can really push yourself and keep decreasing the speed as much as you want and try to push yourself forward for this. So the faster you can recall the information, it means that the more ingrained in your brain it is. So that's a good way to see the auto advance. Now saving presets. So here options, I clicked on save before I closed, right? But here's the thing. You can have different presets for different decks. So here we can click on this, I do not know the name of this, but like lower arrow, I do not know. So click here. We can click on add preset. This means that it's going to create a new preset for that deck. So I click here, add preset. I'm going to call Exco class and click on OK. Now we have the Exco class used by one deck. And I click here Save. So the default deck has the Exco class preset. But if I click on the geography one, options, it still uses the standard. So here, when we click on a deck, we click here on the cog options, the name of the, this means standard, by the way. Padrão means standard. So here, this is the preset that's used by that deck, by the deck history, as it's written here. So there are multiple presets that I have here, but this is the one that this deck is using. So I can add a new preset by creating, it's basically going to create a new preset. I can also clone, I can rename, and I can remove the preset. So you can have different presets for different decks. Is everybody good with that? So that, sure.
For the preset, is that like we can set different times for different decks?
For the auto advance feature?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. So you can have the auto advance feature differently for different decks. Yes, you can do that. So you can have a deck that's faster than another. You can do that. In general, I do not use the auto advance feature unless I'm very serious about something. I'm like, right now I really need to go through this. But I think that for MCAT test takers, I think it could be very helpful. MCAT, LSAT, it could be very helpful for you to like go through a lot of flashcards that you need to know well, like quickly, and force yourself to know them well to the point that you can recall them fast. So now let's move on. And any other questions? I talked so much, and there's like still so much for me to go through. So like, bear with me. I'm sorry, but it's like a lot of knowledge here. So here, now let's move on to tags. So each flashcard can have multiple tags. So let's say we have a bunch of flashcards, right? And we do not want our flashcards to be disorganized. We want them to be as organized as possible. So we are going to use what we have as what we call tags. We click here on Add Flashcard. If we go here to the bottom, we have this field called Tags. This field gives us the option to give a label to our flashcards. So let's use some of the examples. Let's say we're creating a flashcard and we want to know when we learned that flashcard, because we're going to use these flashcards to study later for our exams, for instance. And let's say that in the first week of class, something was taught. So let's say A, and the back is going to be B. And this was taught in the first, let's say this was taught in the fall semester. So I'm going to type fall in the tag and press enter. So this was taught in the fall, because in the future, when I want to review the flashcards, I may want to review the information that I learned only in the fall semester, but not in the spring semester. Maybe I want to review the information that was taught in a certain week of the semester and not in another. So let's add the week. Let's say I learned this information in the week 1. So I'm going to type here week 1 and press enter. This creates the tag week 1 automatically. Now I'm going to add this flashcard. Add. So what happens is that you can see the tags continue here for the next flashcard that I was going to add. This is just the default behavior of Anki. So when we add a flashcard, a certain tag, Anki imagines that you're going to add a bunch of flashcards with the same tags. Instead of using week 1, I can also use sub tags. As much as I can use like sub decks, I can also have sub tags. So here, instead of week 1, I can have week. And how do we do sub in Anki? Yes, exactly. So colon 1. This is an option as well. So what this is going to make is that we're going to have the tag week, and under the tag week, we're going to have the number of the week. So we can have week, under it 1, week, under it 2, 3, 4, up to like, let's say 12 or whatever. So yeah, you can have like multiple sub tags. So here press enter. We have week 1. Let's add C and the back D. Here we can also do now, let's say week colon week 2, let's say D, E, and add. So these subtags are going to be very helpful for something else that I'm going to show later, which is going to be basically custom studies. Custom studies is the idea that you can create sets of flashcards, and you can review those sets separately. So let's say you're studying for your midterm, and you want to review all the flashcards of that deck before the exam. So you're going to create this selection of flashcards, and the professor said, I'm only going to cover the content of the weeks 3 and 4. So you're going to create a flashcard deck, deck of flashcards, only with the flashcards with the tags week 3 and week 4. Follow the idea? So you're going to have this ability to study for exams more precisely. Instead of studying all the flashcards, you can really select precisely which flashcards you want to study. Moving on, we have any questions, by the way? Okay, moving on, we have flags. So flags is the possibility of adding a small mark to the flashcard. So when we review flashcards, let's move on. Let's go back here. If I click here to review, study now. Okay, it's not activated. Okay, so we can add a flag to the flashcard. Flags don't mean anything. They are basically a small, literally a flag. So here I'm going to select more, and let me see if it's here. Okay, flag cards. The first option, I'm going to select, let's say this is a flashcard that I find very hard, very difficult. I can flag it with a red flag. Now you can see there's a small cute flag here. So we can see a red flag. What is this used for? Whatever you want. What do they mean? Nothing. You give their own meaning. The point is that now you can see the flags while we review. So if you have flashcards that you know are very difficult, you can use that. Another way you can use flags is to search them later. So you can use this to tell yourself, okay, this flashcard is a tough one. And later, you can create selection of flashcards for you to study, and you can review by the flags that they have. So you can create a selection of flashcards containing all the flashcards that you find hard. So now it has this cute little flag. I could choose another one. I could choose flag green. Now it's a green flag. I could choose flag. There are all these options here, but you cannot add new flashcards, new flags. And it cannot have more than one flag. So one flashcard can have at most one flag. So purple, all the options, all those options you have. Okay, beautiful. Any questions about that? It's just a way for you to change that. Now bury and suspend, something that one of us was looking for. So burying delays a card until the next day. So let's suppose, okay, burying a card will delay the card for the next day, so you're not going to review it today. When you suspend a card, it stops showing up, and this is permanent, but it's reversible. So it's never going to show up again if you do not suspend it, if you do not unsuspend it. What is this used for? So burying can be very helpful when you have sibling cards. So you have multiple cards coming from the same note. And all the cards from the same note, they have similar information, right? And maybe you do not want to review the cards from the same note, the sibling cards, on the same day, because one helps the other. You're going to see one, and it's going to help you recall the other. So you don't want that. You want them to be independent, reviewed independently. So what we can do is that we can make sure that Anki never puts two sibling cards in the same day for us. So we go here to the options, click on the cog, options. We're going to go down here, and we're going to go here, burying. So can you guys see this? So here, burying, look at this. Bury new siblings, bury review siblings, bury inner day learning siblings. So here, we can select bury review siblings. So there's a difference. The reason why we have three types of cards is because we have new cards, we have review cards, and we have learning cards. New cards is the card that you didn't review yet. Okay, you haven't reviewed them. Learning is basically the first few reviews you got of that flashcard, and review flashcard is when you got after a certain threshold. It's like after the first day, the card moves to, after the first day you review the flashcard, it goes to, it's labeled as review. And it only goes back to learning if you press again at some point. So we can select here, bury all these options so that you never see sibling cards the same day. I can click here and save. So now you remember those 6 flashcards we created with the image occlusion. Basically, it would hide all the siblings, and I would not see them together at the same time on the same day. They would be added in different days. So 6 were created at that point, but I would see that in 6 separate days. This makes sure I'm not being helped by other flashcards, other similar flashcards. Any questions about that? Suspending. Suspending is very helpful when you do not want to study something anymore, but it's still, you do not want to delete the flashcards. You never need to delete old flashcards. If you studied a course in your first year of college and you feel like that's useless, even though you feel that's useless, do not delete it. There's no problem delete. There's no reason for you to delete. Just suspend all the flashcards. How do we do that? So here we go to browse, and browse is what we use to look for flashcards. So we click on browse. Now we can have all the flashcards that I just added. In the left side, we can see a bunch of options, and among them we can select the decks. So I can click here on default. It's going to show all the flashcards under the default deck. So I can select a flashcard that I want to suspend, or I can select multiple by holding shift and clicking here, basically. I can select all of them by pressing Control A. I do not know about Mac. I don't know. I'm sorry. But so we have here, select a note, click on with the right side of the mouse. Here we have toggle suspend. We also have toggle bury. So I can bury and suspend specific flashcards, specific cards by clicking here. So I click here, toggle suspend. Now this little flashcard here, it's suspended. It's never going to be shown again unless I click here and unsuspend it. So that's how you can suspend the whole deck. I could select all of it. Okay, this is useless. I don't want to study it anymore. So toggle suspend, you're not going to study it anymore. I changed my mind. I need to study now. So you do this. You just select all of them and press it again. It unsuspends. This is very helpful. So don't delete your old content. Just don't. Keep your flashcards. You can help freshmen or people in the future. Now let's move on. How to search flashcards. This is a little bit more advanced, but let's go. This is going to be useful for people who are serious about it. People who are like, if you're taking MCAT or if you're taking LSAT or if you're serious about any standardized test that you will need to have like a lot of content material to learn. This can be very helpful when you have like a ton of flashcards. So how do we search flashcards? We have the manual. So the Anki manual is beautiful. It's the only manual that I actually read. So it has a lot of instructions on how you use Anki. And one of the instructions is how you can search for flashcards. And Anki has multiple ways to search for stuff. And it has multiple logical operators you can use. So here on Anki, we go back, we click on browse, and let's suppose I want to search all the flashcards that have the word dog in it. It doesn't need to have only the word dog. It doesn't need to have it just needs to appear the word dog anywhere in any field of the flashcard. So I'm gonna type here in this box here. I'm gonna type dog. Press enter. So now I see a bunch of options. So the flashcards you're seeing, they come from my memory system. Okay, they are like I'm gonna cover the major system. It's going to be one of the lectures of this course. It's a system to convert numbers to images, and then we put the images and memorize the images. And this way we can memorize thousands and thousands of digits of whatever you want. So here we can see that it showed me this flashcard that has this field that contains the watch dog man. And the reason why it appeared is because it has dog here, right? It doesn't have only dog, it has watch dog. So if the sequence of letters appears anywhere, you're gonna see that flashcard. Another flashcard that appeared to me was this one, the hot dog guy. So we can see there's the hot dog guy here, and this one appears the word dog alone, but not necessarily. It could be inside another word. But let's suppose I want a word that has dog or the word man. So I can write here the logical operator or. I just type dog or man. And now what does this show to me is, now this is going to show me all the flashcards that have one or the other. So you can see there's a completely different set of flashcards shown now. So I can also, instead of using or, I can use and. So all the flashcards have dog and the word man. I press enter, and only this flashcard appeared because that's the only flashcard I have that has both the word, the sequence of letters dog and the sequence of letters man appearing in some field. So we can use these two logical operators. You can see that the word and has appeared is because Anki usually interprets a space as the word and. And I can also nest logical operators. So we can do, let's say, I want the word dog to appear in the flashcard. And I want to see either the word man or the word guy. Because remember, the other character was what? The hot dog guy. So I want to, it must have the word dog, and now I'm going to open parentheses, and I want to see either guy or man. If I press enter, I'm going to have the other. You can see that, let me just clarify something. You can see a bunch of cards that are very similar. That's because they are the same note, but they have multiple flashcards. So here at the top, we have this option. This is showing cards. This is searching for all cards. But if I press here, now I have notes. You can see one note can give rise to multiple flashcards, to multiple cards. But now we can see we got just these two. We have the watchdog man and the hot dog guy. So we can nest these logical operators over and over again and make them quite complex. Another thing is the underscore, the asterisk, and the W. So let's suppose instead of looking for anything that has the word dog in it anywhere, I want not just anywhere, I want the word dog itself. So I put W colon, and now I don't want a sequence of letters like DOG appearing anywhere, but it must be separate. So in this case, dog appears inside the word watchdog, but that doesn't mean that dog is a word in that field. So if I type this way, W colon dog, only the hot dog guy appears because this one has the word dog, not inside another word, but on its own alone. So that's the difference of the W. Anybody following? Everybody's following that. Any questions about that? And if I want to look for everything that has a word, but anything that has, let's say, I want not dog, but I want the letter D, some character, NG. It could be Doug, it could be dig, it could be dog. So I press enter. I'm gonna have other options as well. So here, this underscore character basically means that any character could be filled there. Not necessarily dog. But that's a single character. It must have only a single character. If I want any sequence of letters of any size whatsoever, I use an asterisk. And then I press enter, and a whole new combination of letters, cards become available to me. So these are some operators we can use. Another one we can use is to look for the front, back, tag, deck, and flag. So here, let's suppose I want to look for all the flashcards that have the front in a certain way. So I can put front, colon, and let's say I want all the ones that the front has. Let's check here in the default deck. I want to check all the ones that the front has the word casa. So wait, I think there's a problem here. Oh, casa. I think this case, yeah. So you use front, type front. It's because mine is Portuguese, it's asking for, but yours is gonna be front. You type front, colon, press enter, it should show the flashcard casa. So this is going to show only the flashcards that at the front is equal to casa. If I wanna look for the flashcards that the back is equal to something, I put back and press enter, it should show the other flashcard. Is everybody following that? Besides doing that, we can look for tags. So let's say I want to see all the flashcards that were taught in the fall. So I put tag, colon, fall, and you must have used the tag for you to use it now for searching. So I press enter, and I see all the ones that were added with the tag fall. If I want to check all the ones that were taught in week 1, I remove the fall, type week. Remember, we use subtags here. So subtag is colon, colon. So colon, colon, 1. So now I have all these flashcards. And these are actually my personal flashcards. So this is week 1 from a bunch of different classes that I had. So I have week 2. I have all of these flashcards. So let's suppose I want to see all the flashcards that were taught in week 1 and or taught in week 3. So I put tag or tag colon week colon colon because I use subtags 3. So now I'm going to see all the flashcards that were taught either week 2 or 3. And now we have even more flashcards. So in this way, you can search any set of flashcards you are looking for. What if I want to see the flashcards that were taught that are in a specific deck? We can also type deck colon and type the name of the deck. So we can put here default. So now I type the name of the deck and it appears all the flashcards of that deck. If the title of the deck has a space, you need to put under double quotation marks. So here I have a deck. Let's say you have a deck called, we have history, the history deck. We didn't add anything there. So let me use the personal one is too nested. But let's say if you're looking for the ones under history, you could use history colon colon USA history. And here you would need to use quotation marks around the USA history. Then I press enter. It should show all the flashcards that were there. If you forget the code for you to look for something, you can go on the left side here and click on the thing you're looking for. So if I click here on USA history, you can see that it automatically fills the search here. If I click on default, it automatically fills here, deck, default. If I go here to my tags, I click here, week. You can see here the weeks, they're sub-tagged in a hierarchy. Can you guys see that? So this is the beauty of subtags. You can, collapse them, and it's very organized. So here, if I click here on one, it automatically fills out here. So if you forget the code at any point, you can just click and like cheat and get the code. So here, I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna copy this. So if I wanted all the flashcards from the deck, let's say, from USA history, and I'm gonna use parentheses now, and from week 1 or week 2, I can do this. And now it would show me all the flashcards that meet those requirements. Okay. So basically, that's the logic of how you can search for flashcards. Any questions you have? Any questions you may have about this? I know this is a lot. I know this is like a lot of stuff that I'm pouring on you guys, but this can be very helpful soon. I'm gonna show you guys something that's gonna be make it very helpful. So here we have the flags. You can also click on the flags, and each flag has a code. So if you have like the red flag is flag :1, and this may be useful later. So now let's move on to talk about custom study decks. Okay, so I showed a lot of stuff, a lot of technical stuff, a lot of practical stuff, many different types of things. But now let's move on to something that's actually more useful. That's going to use the things that I just showed. So the best way for you to review before an exam is to use a custom study deck. So a custom study deck is something that allows you to create a copy of your deck with all the flashcards you have, and you can review those flashcards before an exam. So before an exam, you have a midterm, you have a final. The professor says, I want you guys to know all the content from weeks 4 to 6 or 4 to 10. So what you can do is that you're going to create this custom study deck with all the flashcards from weeks 4 to 10. And this is going to create this parallel deck. And when you finish reviewing that deck, the cards go back to the original deck. And you can also use this to study before a vacation. So you don't not need to use Anki during the vacation, but nobody likes to come back from a vacation and have like 1,000 flashcards to review. That's awful. So you can review before the vacation. It can be better. Trust me, it is better to review before than to review after. It can be like very hard for you to find motivation right after you come from a vacation. You feel lazy and like it's harder. So how can you do this? So let's go here. We're going to select a deck, and we're going to click here on Custom Study. Now we have this option, Custom Study. So this gives us multiple options here. We can select if we want to study ahead. So I'm going to be away for a while. I do not want to touch Anki for a while. So I click here, Review Ahead, and I select how many days I want to review ahead. That's one option. If I want to study before an exam, I should select this last option, Study by card, state, or tag. So select this. So select 100 cards from this deck. So here, the default, it shows 100, but maybe you have more than 100. Usually when I'm studying for midterms, I usually have like 200 flashcards, 300 flashcards that I would review like in 1 day or 2 days before the exam. And that's usually the only way I study. I just do like the flashcards, review the problem sets that the professor has given, like the mistakes I've made in the past problem sets. And that's pretty much all. You just do these two things. You just review your flashcards, check your past mistakes, and you're set to get a good grade on the exam. So basically here, because I do not know how many flashcards I need to review, and I want to review as many as possible, as many as I have to review, I'm going to set just 9, just the maximum possible. So I set this. Now, I'm 100% sure I have fewer than this, so definitely I'm going to grab all the flashcards that I have to grab. So here, I'm going to select, I have these options: new cards only, due cards only, all review cards in random order, all cards in random order, don't reschedule. You're only going to need to worry about these last two. So the third one creates this parallel study deck, and your performance in that deck is going to alter how the algorithm perceives those cards. So if you perform poorly, it is going to alter the algorithm. In the last one, it's not. It's not going to alter the algorithm. So you can reschedule, you can mess it up pretty badly, and it's not going to alter anything, but it's going to be good training. So here, I'm going to select the last one, and now click here, choose tags, and now it asks me, require one or more of these tags, and select tags to exclude. So here, if I select here, require one or more of these tags, I can select which tags I want to use for, which selection of tags I want to use for the flashcards that I want to study right now. So if I'm studying for an exam, I want to study all the flashcards from week 4, 5, 6. I'm going to select those tags. Let's say actually week 1 and 2. So I'm going to click in week 1, week 2. Now it's selected, and all the flashcards that are going to appear for me are the ones that have those tags. They have one or more of those tags. So now I click on OK, and now this custom study session was created. I go back to the beginning. I have here custom study session due to flashcards. Click here and click here on study now. You can see custom study sessions, they are usually in blue, so they look a little bit different. Notice that if I come here and I delete this deck, the flashcards come back. Let me undo this. Okay, so the flashcards just come back. You don't need to be worried about deleting. But if you delete the original one, they're gone. The flashcards are gone. So, but if you delete this one, it's fine. So let's review. I click here, study now. I just keep reviewing them, blah, blah, blah. Congratulations. Now the flashcards move back to the original one. And if I want to rebuild the same deck, I can just click here, rebuild. And all the flashcards that meet those rules are going to come back again for me to study again. So if you're studying for an exam, you can study like multiple times, for instance. But that's the logic of custom study decks. They're extremely helpful for, they're basically the main method of study you could use for exams and midterms, finals, and you're still going to perform like great. So I feel like that's really one of the best ways to study for exams, honestly. Any questions about custom study? Okay, so I'm gonna show a very cool thing about this, and the reason why I showed all those confusing and technical logical operators to search flashcards. Here we have this custom study session. What if I want to be more specific? I can click here on the cog and options. Now I have the options for the custom study. And for those who want to be more advanced on Anki, here we have the filter. And in the filter, we have the search. And we can see here an expression very similar to what we were playing with before when we were browsing for flashcards. So we can see this is the rule of the custom study session. So this is the expression that determines which flashcards will be taken for this custom study session. So if you want to make a different selection of flashcards, you can change this expression over here. Everybody got it? So if you want to select, let's say, all the flashcards that have flag 1, you just type flag 1. And now I click on rebuild. No cards match the provided search. So it means that no flashcards have flag 1. Let me add the flag to some flashcard. Let's put here flag red. Added the flag red. So now here, cog options, I'm going to go here and I'm going to do flag :1, rebuild. Now I have one flashcard in that deck. So that's, now I can review that and so on. So that would be the logic of it. Any questions about that? Okay, everything good. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and cover another cool thing, which is add-ons. So I'm gonna try to be quicker on this. Everybody try to type Anki add-ons on the browser. So Anki add-ons, and we're gonna install an add-on on Anki. So we have the ability to add add-ons to our Anki to make it look cooler. So here I'm gonna type on Google Anki add-ons, select add-ons, and now we have a list of add-ons. This is the official website of Anki. I'm gonna click here on review heat map. So this gives us a way to check how often we review Anki. So this is very cool because we can keep track of how consistent we have been. So I'm gonna go down here and select this code. This is the code of the add-on. I'm gonna copy it. So copy, and this is the same process that you would do for any extension, for any add-on whatsoever. Everybody copied it? Okay, so we go back.
What's it called?
Review heat map. Review heat map. So we go here. It's in the main page here. It's the second one, so it's very popular. Here, select, copy. Now we go back to Anki. Now back to Anki, we're gonna go here. Let me see, tools. We go here to tools and add-ons. We select add-ons. So now we can see the list of add-ons. I have none. So we go here, get add-ons. Now we ask for the code. So I'm gonna paste the code and click on OK. Processing installed successfully. I'm gonna close it and I'm gonna restart Anki. I'm gonna close the Anki. I'm gonna open Anki. Let's see what is gonna happen. Now we have this beautiful, consistent, this beautiful dashboard showing the consistency. So here we can see the daily average, how many flashcards we review per average daily. The days learned, the longest streak, so how many times I reviewed flashcards without stopping. Current streak, 10 days, means that in the 11 days ago, I missed it. Too bad. But like this gives you a way to continue because you can see exactly each day. You can see how many you reviewed. You can click on them and see like this day, how was it? Which flashcards you reviewed that day. So here, 110 cards reviewed on Tuesday, September 2. So this is very helpful, but you have other add-ons as well. So you have a bunch of add-ons. You can add speech to your flashcards if you're learning languages. So you can add like pronunciation. So you can use this add-on here, Hyper TTS. You can add this advanced review bottom bar, which is useful if you want to remove the easy and hard buttons, and if you want to add a skip button to your flashcards. So if you're reviewing a flashcard, you're like, you know what, I want to skip this flashcard and come back later. You can add this skip button using this advanced review bottom bar add-on. So now let's move on. Any questions about add-ons? Sure. On phones, it doesn't work. On tablets, I do not know. I don't know. Let me see. Can you go to options? Ooh, I think this works just like the. Let me see. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, too bad. But I'm not sure. Any other questions? I can check that later. Any other questions about that? About add-ons? So we have like plenty of add-ons. You can explore them. It can be very fun. So I really like these three. If you're into language learning, definitely download this one. If you want to add the skip button, you can download this one, advanced review bottom bar. But the heat map is a very fun one to have. Now the shared decks. I'm gonna show you guys how you can download decks from other people. So we're gonna have, let's say you wanna download pre-made decks. You're studying for law, for the LSAT, you're studying for MCAT. You can go and download pre-made decks. We go back to Google, to your browser or whatever. You type Anki shared decks. So here, I click here, the first link, shared decks, Anki web. We have this website. Everybody following? Let's do that. So here we have a bunch of flashcards, a bunch of options for us. So here we can download pre-made decks made by other people. So let's type here we can also click on the options we have, but we can also Google here MCAT, let's say. So search. And we have a bunch of options. And we have the ratings and so on. But we have here the mile downs MCAT guide, or the MCAT miles down. I'm gonna select the, let me see which one has, I'm gonna select, it's pretty much the same thing, but I'm gonna select, let's say no, I'm not this one. It was this one. Okay. So I'm gonna download this one. So Downs MCAT guide. So for me to download this, what should I do? I clicked on it, go down, click on download, and save that on my computer. After I did that, I go back to Anki. Everybody following it. So you basically download it, save in your device. Now I go here to File and Import. I want to import the deck. So I click here on Import, and I go here to wherever I saved it here. So I had already saved it before, so I'm not worried about that. Here. So Downs MCAT guide. I open it. It opens the import page. So I just click on import. You can change the settings, but it doesn't matter. So I just click here on import. Importing. Okay, all these flashcards were added. This bunch of flashcards. So I can close it. Now you can see the Downs MCAT deck was downloaded. So that's how you download pre-made decks. This is very helpful for when you do not need to understand the content necessarily. So if you want to learn like all the countries of the world, it can be very helpful for you to just download a Anki deck of like all the countries. You can just come here and search countries and have like this ultimate geography deck. And this deck, it can show you like the flags and ask for the name of the countries. It can show you a bunch of things, a bunch of cool things. So if you want to learn, let's say, the periodic table, you can download the deck with the periodic table that's going to show you the symbols and ask for the name and all of that. But for content like this, that's more advanced, it would be good if you learned before. So you should never use Anki for you to learn the content. It's always for you to review the content, right? Because it can be very tough to learn from the flashcards. But once you already know the content, you can use the flashcards that were pre-made by other people for you to check your own knowledge, as if you had a database of questions, just like you would do with any database. So yeah, it can be very helpful for that, just to check if you actually have the knowledge. Any questions about that? Any problems you encountered? Okay. Now we're getting to the end of this lecture. So I want to remind you guys, set a time to review Anki. So choose a time. So you have 15 seconds to choose a time of your day for you to review Anki. It can be right after you wake up. It can be right after lunch. It can be right before you go to bed. It can be when you're taking a dump. Whatever it is, but find a time. You need to have a time that's consistent so that you review every single day. It's awful to have your flashcards accumulated, and if they accumulate, you're gonna lose your consistency. You are gonna feel discouraged to review. So just set a time. You can set an alarm. You can put in your calendar, but make sure that you know and have a clear intention of when you're gonna review your flashcards every day. Everybody good? Everybody selected, chose in their mind, in their heart, the time of review. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. So now we have the midterm. The midterm one is due October 1. So this, you just need to worry about this if you are taking the class for credit. So the midterm is to create 15 flashcards at least in the next 2 weeks using your notes from your other classes. So you're gonna take your classes, your normal classes from mobile building, and you're taking your classes normally, and you're gonna take your notes, and after the class, at the end of the day, you're gonna put your notes on Anki. And you're going to review your flashcards normally. And at the end of these 2 weeks, you should have more than 15 flashcards. And you're going to send me a picture. You're going to email me a picture of your Anki browser page. You just browse. You just go here on Anki here, browse. You just take a picture of whatever shows here. So you're going to have like a bunch of flashcards here. You just take a picture and email it to me. And that's fine. Just that. You should have many more than 15. The reason why I'm putting 15 is because I talked to some people about the syllabus, and some people were like, I was thinking of putting 50, but some people were like, oh my god, Mike, but 50 is such a large number, like people are gonna feel discouraged to join your exco. And I was like, they will add more than 50 if they are doing it right. Like 50 is not as many. When you start doing this, you notice that every day it's normal for you to add like 20, 25, and that's fine. If you write your flashcards correctly, you should not spend much time reviewing them. You're going to be fast. So 15 is a very small number. Okay, it's a very manageable number. You should be creating at least 40, and 40 is like a small number for 2 weeks. So every class, you're probably going to create about 5. For every lecture you take, you're probably going to add about, actually, depending on the lecture, maybe 20, honestly. So yeah, maybe 20, 40 to 60 flashcards per day that I would add, depending on the lectures I'm taking. But so this is a very manageable goal. The goal of this is really to make sure you get started with Anki, because this is, I believe, the best software for learning and the one you're going to see the best improvement in your learning for classes. Any questions about Anki, about learning, about the midterm or whatever? Any questions you may have?
Are we gonna have the slides?
Yes, I'm going to post the slides in the drive folder. I send the link to the drive folder on the email. And yeah, any other questions?
When are they gonna be available?
Huh?
When are the slides going to be available?
I'm going to put them today. So any other questions? Any questions whatsoever? Okay, I think we're good. Thank you very much, guys.